it's amazing. Actually, I hear a lot of the comments that we get on social media is, hey, thanks for posting about this small business. I had no idea that they were here. And that's a winner in itself, because that's, there's no better thing to hear, because then that's a new customer for that small business. And that's amazing.
I remember thinking, wow, I can't wait to grow this organization into the place where, everybody comes to you for everything. And now I'm like, be careful what you wish for, because that's exactly what has happened.
Just beg my mom, like, take me down to pastime. We need to get some Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Well, the owners of Haven
Okay.
are now opening up a little restaurant right in the plaza. So it used to be the old Shiraz. I've had a sneak preview, and it's absolutely beautiful in there. They're going to have a gorgeous outdoor patio. It's called Stephen's Kitchen and Bar.
Yeah.
Welcome. This is live from Langley BC, the #1 podcast in Langley, where we talk to local Langley residents and business owners about local Langley events and businesses. Today's guest is Downtown Langley Business Association, also known online as Discover Downtown Langley. We have Teri and Rachelle. We've had a chat recently about what their association represents, and we're going to get into that today, as well as talk about some of the great businesses that are in downtown Langley City that they want to highlight, and some events they have coming up. So, yeah, welcome, Teri, Rachelle.
Thanks
for having us.
Coming, finally making it.
I
We were
know,
able to
yeah.
finally figure out a date, so that's exciting. And you brought some great food. That is the last rep in Langley City. Had them a few times. They never disappoint. But before we get into it today, I want to kind of get everybody familiarized with who you guys are.
Okay.
Obviously, we'll get into the business association, everything like that. But first things first, Teri, you mentioned that you are Langley City through and through.
I am indeed.
So what does that mean exactly?
Well, I have been the executive director of the Downtown Langley Business Association for 21 years. We were awarded the Discover Langley City contract, which is the tourism arm of Langley City, 7 years ago, so I oversee that. And I've been on Langley City Council simultaneously for 15 years through all of that. So I literally live, eat, and breathe and love Langley City.
Wow, that's amazing. And how long have you been here in Langley for?
We moved here in 2000
Oh,
from
wow.
Victoria, kicking and screaming. Thought I would never fall in love with a place more than I did Victoria, and Langley City just absolutely enveloped me. I just became part of its fiber.
That's awesome.
And Rachelle has been with the association for 14 years.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
a long time.
Yeah,
14 years. Wow.
she's our social media manager extraordinaire.
Yeah.
14 years. Did they have social media
No,
back?
I started as office manager and then went on mat leave. And who took my mat leave? Brenda. She's still with us. I came back from after having kids, and I was like, well, I can never do as good a job as Brenda. So I got to find something else to do. And then social media skyrocketed, and here we are. So
Perfect timing. Because, yeah, that's how I found you guys.
cool.
Right? And that's how I feel a lot of people are finding businesses around
Absolutely.
Langley now.
I agree. Yeah.
Right? So what is it exactly that you guys focus on with the association?
I'll go first.
Yeah.
So we are kind of all things to all businesses, and what I mean by that is we anything from business recruitment and retention, or if a business feels like they need to be heard at Langley City Hall, or if there's any redevelopment or revitalization, we bring all the events to the downtown. I can remember thinking, wow, I can't wait to grow this organization into the place where everybody comes to you for everything, and now I'm like, be careful what you wish for, because that's exactly what has happened. So pretty much every day is different. You name it, we tackle it. So
I feel like we serve our small business community, and we also serve the community, right? We're a support system for the small businesses, helping them on day-to-day different things going on. And then also being a hub for the community to visit us or ask us what's going on, or the events, or who, we help spread the word for the businesses on things that they're doing too. So.
Yeah. Oh, and did I mention we sit on a lot of committees?
I feel like you have to, because otherwise you get no say, and
That's
you
right.
can't represent the voice of the businesses, right?
Exactly.
When you started things off at the Business Association, what would you find on your guys' website, or did you have
Yeah.
a board somewhere?
That's
with
actually
sticky
really,
notes?
it's kind of funny that you say that. Yeah, so when I first started, there was someone that had worked there prior, but the focus was, to me, seemed to be a whole lot of little, not overly effective events. So when I was hired on as the executive director, I kind of realigned the focus to more, let me put it this way, we barf our brand now. It's everywhere. And that was one of the things that I wanted to do, because there was no real connection in the beginning, and it was very new and very young and small budget and all that, so I totally understand. But yeah, we've just worked really hard on branding ourselves. We didn't have a website. Now we have a great website. The events are massive now. Instead of having a whole lot of little ones. We focused on 7 substantial ones that we bring throughout the summer, and I hope I get a chance to talk about
Yeah,
that.
we'll definitely go over that.
And so now we're just, like I say, all things to all business, but very involved with Langley City, the municipality itself. We're proud that they not consult necessarily, but if they want to do something like revitalize something or an area that will impact businesses, they reach out to us and make sure that we're aware.
Okay.
And so yeah, we've really grown the organization to be that hub, as Rachelle described it, for not only the businesses, but the community in general, because now we have the community that reaches out and says, hey, when are the events? And hey, when is the
Where can I
Fraser
find
Highway
this
being...
business? Or, yeah.
So it's just grown exponentially in the last 21 years. And it started out just me, myself, and I, and now there's 3 of us. Probably need about 3 more of us on certain days. But it's really, we're just a well-oiled machine, and we work with incredible people that, like graphic designers and web people and stuff like that, because we can't do it all.
Right.
Yes.
And so would you say that the majority of the, the news and the events being promoted is online?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. And actually, they're a work in progress. So we put them up initially, and then as the entertainment and stuff gets sorted, we add to the website almost daily, so that it's a real go-to for all information for our events, for sure.
Yeah, because that's honestly what I had a tough time finding events when you were trying to, go out on that weekend somewhere, and you, where would you look?
What can I do this weekend? Yeah.
Yeah. So now you guys have your website, you have your social media, right? So somebody, let's say, long weekend, right? I mean, this is going to come out way after the long weekend, but let's just say any weekend, they go on your website and they find out, okay, what can we do this weekend in Langley City? And it'll be on there, type of thing?
Yes, so what we've done is, instead of reinventing the wheel and trying to find everybody else's events and put them on there in real time, we have partnered with Langley Community Music School, Langley City, 𝐏𝐡𝐨𝐧𝐞 Casino, and we have direct links to their web pages or to their events pages. So it's easy if you want, if you want to go listen to some brilliant music, then you would click on the Community Music School link and stuff like that. So so we stopped reinventing the wheel and started partnering.
That makes sense. And I guess this is more a question for Rachelle on the online side, is have you noticed that, people are searching different ways, or what's the most effective way you found that you've been able to promote events online?
Well, for our summer events, we don't start campaigning for them or marketing them probably I put out some teasers, but if we do it too soon, because our specific events that we host, they're July and August, so I'll start putting out more information at the beginning of next month, just so that it doesn't become wallpaper, right? People are like, oh, August is so far away, I want it. You have to be strategic, right? So as far as the other events happening in Langley City with the businesses and stuff, I'll put those on our stories, or I'll share those here and there, but there's no consistent link or anything that I can say, hey, go here to find all of our small business events, right? Because it's just sharing them as they come up.
Right.
So
But if you see something you like, then write it down.
yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah, you got to make use of those calendars now.
Yeah.
I just started using them. I should have used them a long time ago, but
It's so true.
No, it's easy now. You just, pull up your calendar, put it in there, set a reminder.
Yeah.
100%.
Because otherwise, hey, there's so many distractions now.
Yeah.
So it's easy to
I
forget.
have to write everything down, or else the balance in my life is off.
Yeah, right. And before, some people might have thought, oh, I can just put it on a whiteboard somewhere.
Yes.
But that will get just crowded with everything
Absolutely.
else you keep piling on. So
Yeah.
definitely.
Next thing you know, you got a beautiful mind scenario happening all over the place.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. Actually, talking about calendars, I was speaking with Tourism Langley, and I was asking them if they've thought about incorporating some sort of, your calendar where somebody could download it, because then it just automatically goes on their phone, and then they see all the events. Sometimes maybe obviously there might be too many events, but if you can nip
That'd be
especially
cool,
the
for
7
ours,
events.
for the 6 that we do. Yeah.
Because I mean, I've started using calendars more often, and I'm sure other people have also recently, right? Because they're so user friendly now.
Yes. Yeah.
So I feel like maybe I don't know. That
Yeah,
could be
that's a
enough.
really
I don't even know how
really
to do
good
that,
idea.
but-
See, I'm a pen to paper gal. I actually don't use my phone in the calendar. I'm always pen to paper. I still walk around with a planner.
Oh, nice.
So that's my style.
Speaking of planners, I remember my mom always telling me to use one, and I just couldn't.
I
And
still
now-
do.
Now that's what I get now.
Yeah.
But luckily now I can use my phone, so
Yeah.
not a big deal. That's awesome. Well, let's talk about those events. Let's
Sure.
get
Yeah, what
those
we got coming up.
going. Yeah.
Exciting.
Love to. So the first one is actually a city event. It's Community Day, and I think it's its 26th or 27th annual or something. So that's Saturday, June 10th, and that pretty much goes all day in Douglas Park. So that's exciting because there's a food truck festival. the firefighters come out and do like a relay, different community groups challenge one another. I've tried it. It's very, very tough, actually. I'm not good at it at all. Yeah, it's just a fun day filled with music and entertainment. Then our Plaza series starts, and we actually switched that up. And this year they're on Thursday evenings from 6 to 8. So there's 3 of those. And it's just really good vibe. Not easy listening, but just really talented musicians that come and perform for a couple hours. So we used to have it on Saturdays. And to your point, Daniel, there's just so much going on Saturdays in the summer that
You're competing with
yeah,
everyone
it was
else's
just
events.
overwhelming. So plus
And
it was
the heat.
blistering hot.
It's hot, so I thought Thursday nights, invite people down. Yeah, McBurney Plaza.
So there's 3
Grab
of those
dinner.
coming up. And then City Summer Beats, which is fun. We've switched it up this year to an evening event. And that takes place in Douglas Park on Saturday, July the 15th from 5 to 9. I'm just reading my cheat sheet because I know this, but I don't want to screw it up. And this is the big one, the 28th Annual Arts Alive Festival. So for 21 years, I've been organizing this, and my predecessors organized it for 7 years prior. It is a massive event now. Somewhere between 35 and 45,000 people attend throughout the course of the day. That's on August 19th from 10 to 5, and there's 300 vendors, and there's 3 stages, and a children's venue, and roving entertainment, and the vendors are all artists or artisans, so everything that you see will be homemade other than the businesses, because they can participate at no cost, but then they just bring whatever they would like to bring onto the street as well. Total road closure event. And last but not least, and we're exhausted by this point, we have our Fork and Finger, which is our food event. And that involves, I'll say the date first, Saturday, August 26th from 11 to 4, and what this involves is exploring the great restaurant scene that we have in Langley City. So there's $5 and $10 samplers, and people just go around with a passport. They can win great downtown dollar prizes. We've got music in the plaza and samplers being handed out, stuff like that throughout the course of the day. So yeah, by the time we plan, organize, and execute all of these, we're exhausted, but it's worth it. But then we start almost immediately after the last event, we start planning for the next year. So
Okay, so that's the annual.
these are the standards, never going away, forever and ever, amen. And then we also, because most of these are like at least 6th or 7th annual, if not more. But there's all the little events that we support as well, like that come to Langley City. They reach out to us first. There's the International Chili and Barbecue Competition. We're looking at another one called Beer, Bacon, and Bourbon. And yeah, so they come to us and we support them through sometimes small grants, but most of it's just connecting them with the right people so that they can execute their
Right.
events.
And just using your platform that you have
Yes.
to,
Yeah.
because
Support and
that
get it
gets
out there.
a ton of traction
Yep.
too online.
Yep.
And then so these events are mainly Langley City, close to the Strip. would you say?
They
Yes.
all are, except for, well, City Summer Beats and Community Day are actually Douglas Park, which is a stone's throw
Yeah, so
from the
close.
downtown plaza. So the Fraser Highway One Way is primarily where all of this takes place. Yeah.
Fraser
Yep.
Highway one way. I
Yep.
mean, it's awesome there. I recently, as of like a month or two, started to go down there a lot more often.
Oh, good.
So, it's just, like you said, evenings after work, you just go for a stroll,
Yep.
you grab a coffee, and then you go to Douglas Park. Sometimes they're doing something at that
Yep.
amphitheater
Yes.
there.
Yep.
But if not a nice day, yeah, you just walk around. And
Yeah.
everything's so close. You can get lunch later on, or you can get dinner there too.
Yeah.
Went to Adelicia's the other day
Oh,
too.
good.
So, I mean,
That's good.
so
Nice
many.
patio.
So yeah, exactly. Got the first. That was the first patio of the year, I think.
Nice.
So
Have you
Which-
checked out any of the murals yet? Because we got a really cool mural walk.
no, I haven't seen
Oh,
those.
Oh, wow.
really?
So tell us about that.
Yeah, that's exciting. So we have our mural walk Langley,
Uh-huh.
and it's over 25 murals.
There's
now.
the 29th is being painted as
Yeah.
we speak.
Yeah, and they're all along like the one way and up other boundaries of our BIA, all within walking distance of one another. And we should have brought one for you, curated and printed a professional map that shows like a guide. So it's a self-tour map, and it's great. We've worked with,
How many muralists?
muralists,
Dozens.
artists, and they come down, and we have all these beautiful works of art in our downtown.
Yeah.
So that's a huge draw too, to get people down in the streets and supporting the small businesses and
Yeah.
checking out the murals. And you can bring the kids or bring the family, and everyone enjoys it. So
Yeah, it was really impactful. We started actually doing this mural program in 2018, so it really exploded. But it started out as a really safe outdoor activity. That's when it first started to gain traction. And people discovered it. Thousands of people go on the mural walk a year. Now it's something that like people reach out to us. How do I get a brochure? Because they want to take their family or their friends or their mums in town or whatever. It takes about 2 hours. But yeah, there's going to be, as of next week, there's going to be 29 murals on the mural walk. So
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we can have a link for that, and then I can
Absolutely.
put it down
Absolutely.
in the description or something.
Yeah.
would love to.
the murals are beautiful. just stunning. All of them are so different and colorful and huge. Like they take up the whole side of big buildings, and we've actually activated 8 of them. Okay, 7 of them.
Yep.
So we have QR codes beside 7 of them. Scan your phone, you bring it up, and they're moving murals.
Yeah.
Hold your
Oh.
phone
Augmented
up
reality.
Yeah, augmented reality. So that's like a whole nother tier of
That's
coolness
cool.
that
Next
we've
level of
added
cool,
to it.
yeah.
And so where'd you take inspiration for that? Because I've seen similar ideas in different cities where they might not have necessarily murals, but they have art displays.
Yes.
And it makes sense now that you're saying this,
Yes.
why they have them, because it's not just like a random art display. It's to get people's attention and
That's
get
right.
people visiting the area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then obviously everyone wants cool Instagram backgrounds.
course.
So,
Yeah.
But we had
Absolutely.
with regards to your question about where did we get the inspiration. So I went to the Vancouver Mural Festival, and I totally hear what you're saying. They had QR codes, and you would point at them, and then a blank wall would come to life. And I went, I wonder if we could do that with our murals. So the challenge there is, and we found a person who can actually, but he has to basically cut the mural apart digitally and then put it back together to make it all work. So that's the difference is if you start out with a QR code, augmented reality is not easy to do, but if you're dealing with a blank wall, it's not as challenging as trying to augment
Bringing a
something that's
mural to
already
life.
visually there.
Yeah.
So yeah, but we did it with 7 of them, so it's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
it's really cool.
It's all on our
That's cool.
website. Yeah,
okay, awesome.
there's little videos on there that show each one actually and how they work.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool. Yeah, it's a good idea because then it gives somebody, it's kind of like that. It's like an adult version of a treasure hunt.
It really is.
Well, it is, and it's a huge attraction to say, like, welcome, come do the mural walk. And then, usually when people are in the community, what are you going to do? You're going to grab a coffee, you're going to browse around, you're going to visit the small businesses, and that's what it's all about is
Yeah.
bringing people into the
Because they're
Langley
spread out
community.
throughout our Business Improvement Association,
Yeah.
which is what BIA means, just so you know. So yeah, it encourages people to explore the whole area, not just,
Right.
the favorite parts kind of thing.
Yeah. Because I mean, everybody knows the one way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. And I feel like that's where a lot of the attention goes most of the time.
Yeah.
But then just a little further down, you have other restaurants,
Totally.
Great
Tacoholics,
businesses,
right?
yep.
Yeah.
Talking a lot
The
about
last
Mexican
rep.
food. The last rep. Right?
Yeah.
And then what would you say is an area that's kind of like a hidden gem in Langley City? A lot of people
That's a
might
really
not
good
know about.
question, actually.
Just like a location. Doesn't have to be a business. 'Cause I know you don't
Yeah.
want to play favorites. You know, so
Yeah,
much.
I think that Douglas Crescent, we were talking about home hardware earlier. I think
Yeah.
Douglas Crescent's kind of a cool little area. There's some neat businesses coming along there too. It's a work in progress, right? Like it takes one, I don't know, really nice business, I guess, to move into an area, and then it starts to catch on, and then the area, slowly comes to life. When I started 21 years ago, just to reference the one way, you could watch a tumbleweed blow down the middle of the Fraser Highway one way, and there was a skateboard waxing shop, an art store, and Old Phillips. And the rest I can't even remember because it was just
And pastimes.
and pastimes.
I remember that.
Yeah.
That's the only place I would go as
Yeah.
a kid. Because I used to live in Langley City in 2000 as well when I
Yeah.
first moved here.
Yeah.
And I remember I'd always just beg my mom, like, take me down
Take
to
me there.
pastime. We need to get some Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
He's moved now. He's up by City Hall.
Yeah,
But
yeah. And it's funny enough, for my birthday, one of my friends ended up going there. They got me one of, not a Yu-Gi-Oh card, but just a collector's 𝐏𝐸𝐴 card. So that was pretty cool.
well, I think we're going to see with SkyTrain coming as well,
yeah.
a lot of redevelopment as well.
That's a great segue because I was going to say, as you were talking about businesses moving in and Douglas Crescent, I started to think about the fact that you were mentioning you're at Langley City Hall, right? I think on the council. So you might have an idea as to what might potentially be happening to the Langley Market Mall.
Oh, I don't know that information. You're
Okay.
talking about the one where I don't.
Right across from the hall there.
Oh, the one. Yeah, it's going to be redeveloped at some point in time for sure.
Do you have any idea what might come there?
No, it's
Any-
changed hands a couple times, so there's definitely some redevelopment in the wind. But there's other areas as well. There's a building right at the corner of the one way at 204th and Fraser. That's been purchased by a development company, so they're going to be redeveloping it. Used to be 𝐏𝐸𝐴 Cafe or Frosting Cupcakery, if that takes you
Okay.
back.
Yeah.
And there's other buildings. I don't know which ones specifically, and if I do, I'm not allowed to tell at this point. But the ones that have been made public, I can speak to. But yeah, definitely, there's going to be a shift in the tides, and with SkyTrain coming, I think more so. I think the next
for
few years
sure.
are going to
It's-
be
I mean,
pretty
there's-
packed out with
You can't
stuff.
deny that having that landing down the street is not
like a
gonna
like a block
make an
away.
impact. Yeah.
yeah, huge.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens there, right? Development is one thing, but if you don't have people there,
Yes.
who cares?
Yes.
So it's important that you guys are actually bringing the people there,
That's right.
creating that atmosphere, because realistically, you know, somebody can put a high rise there, but people won't want to buy it
That's
because
right.
there's no amenities, there's no
Yes.
personality there.
Well, one of
So-
the things we're working on, and we're actually pretty excited about it, the new restaurant that's coming, that's opening, is just activating the nightlife a little more. Because Langley City is kind of sleepy hollow after 6 o'clock at night. So I think with redevelopment, taller buildings, not super sky rises or anything, but like 6 stories instead of 2, I think there'll be more eyes in the street and more need for, like I say, activating the nightlife and making it. People want to go down there because it's bumping. So
So
we
you
are.
have an insight on one of those businesses?
I do, and I asked permission to be able to say it to you if you ask the question. So the owners of Haven
Okay.
are now opening up a little restaurant right in the plaza. So it used to be the old Shiraz. I've had a sneak preview, and it's absolutely beautiful in there. They're going to have a gorgeous outdoor patio. It's called Stevens Kitchen and Bar.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it'll be not like Haven, but more suited to the demographic of Langley City. But that is their plan, to activate the nightlife and the downtown and a customer base and in a beautiful, affordable surrounding. So I'm stoked about that one.
Yeah.
Scheduled to open end of June-ish, so they're
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
hustling.
they're serious. That's awesome.
So maybe I'm hoping that we can get this out there before then, but if we don't, we'll definitely push for that.
That'd be
because
great.
Then we can throw that up and help
Yeah.
promote it.
No,
because
I'd love to.
that is definitely what it's missing. Like
Yeah.
the one thing, Langley's the one way it reminds me, just the character of the buildings reminds me of like Gastown,
Yep.
right?
Mhm.
Just
Yep.
old school like that.
Yep.
Obviously, it's lacking a lot of components, but
Yeah.
after going out in Gastown, there's so many bars there. Going for a walk down that street, right? It's a nice, safe, quiet place, and then you also take in,
Yeah.
you know, the architecture and everything like that. So having something like that in Langley City would be really cool.
Well, the other
Yeah.
thing that's happening that we're excited about, that we're heavily involved in as well, with consultation and keeping the businesses aware and dealing with the city and in a good way, like talking to them about ideas and things, is effective January of 2024, the entire one-way is being revitalized. It's a massive, massive project. It's probably going to take about 6 months. It's going to be very inconvenient, but we're going to do it in stages and sections. But it's literally building to building. And the reason it's being done is the underground infrastructure needs replacing. So the DLBA and the city worked together to come up with a strategy, which has since gone out to, consultation, and council got involved. But the idea stemmed from, don't just rip up the street, make it pretty. So it's literally a revitalization with new street furniture, new lighting, underground hydro cables. Like, it's going to be parklets all the way along, so lots of green space and stuff. So
Oh, cool.
yeah, so it's
In
going to.
between the buildings on the one way.
Yeah, like I think we're losing 12 parking stalls, which some people aren't happy about. But what it's going to do is it's going to just green that entire area. It's going to be gorgeous. So 56 got revitalized, just on the other side of
Yeah.
the one way. Now it'll be Fraser Highway, and then next up would be Douglas Crescent.
And then is there any, because parking, speaking of parking, any idea,
Yeah.
any idea about that parking?
Yeah, so surprisingly enough, we did a parking survey, and I hope this isn't too boring, but we did a serious parking
to know.
survey. Okay, and there's areas that are sorely underutilized that people don't know about. So it's not parking that's lacking in downtown Langley, it's signage telling people where they can park
Yeah,
that's
that makes
lacking.
sense.
So that's happening as well. There's going to be some signage put up and making sure that people are aware that, sorry, you can't park right directly in front of your favorite business, but half a block over, oodles of parking. So it's the awareness and signage that's lacking, not the parking.
Okay.
Yeah. Everybody wants to park in front of their store. That's what
Yeah,
it is.
exactly. Well, because then they think, if I drive further, I'm not going to find parking
That's
either.
right.
And
It's
that's
true.
the biggest thing. And especially when you're driving through Fraser Highway,
Yeah.
sometimes it's bumper to bumper most
Yep.
of the time,
Yep.
right? So, I mean, having more space there will
Half a
help.
block over.
Yeah,
I'm telling
so
you.
That's good to keep in mind. And then, so is there anything that you can tell us from City Council about anything in the pipeline?
Pretty much shared everything that I'm able to. Working really hard on.
What about the SkyTrain?
Yeah,
I know
so
that's a thing
SkyTrain
that's been talked
2028.
about.
Yep. So it's been made public. They've put the tenders out. So the request for proposals, they've got those all tendered out, and they're narrowing down the company that's going to be doing it. There's talk of a safety hub in the downtown that would involve Metro Transit Police, which would be awesome, but that's still kind of something, I think that's more of something we wish for. Yeah, it's going to be a game changer.
And what's the
And
exact location of the SkyTrain in Langley?
Fraser Highway and 203rd, right? Basically, the one entrance off of Fraser Highway into the casino, right there, where the pipe and pouch is.
Okay.
Right there. So like right in the middle of everything. But again, I think that will result in a lot of redevelopment and revitalization and beautification and all the rest of it, because people are going to want to live near transit. They've lived in Langley if they've lived in Langley City a long time, they've lived through not having a lot of solid public transportation, that's all going to change. Because with that has to come more rapid buses. You can't have a SkyTrain without having methods to get people to that SkyTrain other than their cars. So yeah, the transportation aspect of Langley City is going to change as well. So.
Yeah, we were talking about that with Township Council, and they said they were trying to figure out a route from Carvel all the way down, because that's a big one. And then, yeah, just overall, just more of those smaller buses that go around the neighborhoods rather than on the main streets.
Well, this extension through Surrey and eventually through to Langley City has been a topic of conversation since I've been with the BIA. So I've been to so many stakeholder meetings, even 20 years ago. So it's not something that happens overnight. So with regards to the township, I'm sure at some point in time that will happen, but I don't think it would happen in the immediate future, because just the SkyTrain extension from Surrey to Langley,
in the making,
decades, and committees and stakeholders and
How likely is it to
ministers
happen?
and in my opinion, I'm not the expert, but I know how long this one has taken and how many different people and organizations
You
have
know
been
behind the
involved,
scenes
so-
what's involved to get to this, right?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
And the funding.
Oh, that's
The funding.
key. Yeah. Well, they have so many different. Who is paying for that in Langley City? Is it
So Langley City is contributing. You can't get a piece of, I don't want to say construction. What is that? You can't get a tangible item like SkyTrain without having skin in the game. So Langley City is definitely contributing, and the rest of the funding comes from TransLink, the province, and the federal government. So
Okay.
a lot of bodies have to come together with a lot of money to make something like this happen. So
And there's one stop.
two. There's one at, so do you know where the white spot is at
Yeah.
Willowbrook Mall?
Yeah.
Right there. And then the one I just described to you.
Okay.
So
Yeah, that's something everyone asks me about. That's a big
it is.
topic
it
of
is.
discussion here, where it's like, okay, when's
Well,
the
it's huge
SkyTrain
change,
coming?
right?
Well, our
Yeah.
job's going to be to make it the start of the line, not the end of the line.
No,
So
yeah.
we'll work hard to make sure that there's offerings at the end of the line, like events and things like that would encourage people to come to Langley City for the right reasons.
Yeah. Oh, no. I know a lot of people, being in the industry that I'm in, that are coming here because of that.
Exactly.
And the first thing out of their mouth is always SkyTrain. And
Yep.
I have to kind of set the expectation that, hey, great, potential, future development, awesome. It's not happening tomorrow.
Exactly.
Right? So don't come here with the intention
Exactly.
that, tomorrow they'll.
Yeah. Well, even the developments, like sorry to interrupt you, but the buildings that are being purchased now by developers, they have no intentions of doing anything with it right now.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
They're buying it because it's worth. They
Yeah.
think it's going to be worth a lot.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Awesome. So thanks so much for watching. Here's a word from our sponsors quick. I know that we don't charge you anything to watch this, so we got to pay the bills somehow. So we pay the bills with Downtown Dollars. And today, Discover Downtown Langley is here to explain what Downtown Dollars do, because I'm getting a lot of them, apparently.
you are tons. I'll keep it short and sweet. So Downtown Dollars was created in 2012 as a way to rival gift cards in malls, and it is a hugely successful program. We give away over $40,000 a year. People buy over $20,000 a year. We reimburse their good as cash at over 100 businesses, everything from getting your taxes done to your hair done to dozens of restaurants and retail outlets. They're accepted at face value. They're 5s and 10s that we have, and we reimburse the businesses 100%. So it costs them nothing to accept them from you, and you can spend them in over 100 businesses. We use it for giveaways. We use them for gifts, and another reason we created them was if we got asked for donations for dry grads or whatever, we always had to go to the businesses and kind of like, okay. So we thought, you know what, why don't we just have our own collateral we can use for that? So we invented them, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say that it is one of the most successful gift card / downtown dollar programs across the province. We've received accolades for that as well, with a 97% return rate, because we track all the serial numbers. And they're intentional. Gift cards get lost in your wallet with your MasterCard. These are a little bigger and a little thicker, so when people get them, there's an impulse to spend them.
How can people get Downtown Dollars?
So you can reach out on our website. They can purchase them online if they like, or if they're in downtown Langley, come see us. We've got a safe full of them. Shouldn't say that, but we do. But it's a safe. And
And we're always
It's
giving them
not
away. I'm
there.
always doing social giveaways. I actually hit the streets once or twice a week with bundles of $15, and I'll just see people walking down the street. Hey, you want some free Downtown Dollars? That's how fun
Film a video
Downtown
with
Langley
it.
is.
we do flash giveaways.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're actually a lot of fun, and they give us a lot of freedom. So
Yeah.
come see us.
So go
Send an
online,
email.
go to their website,
Yeah.
order some Downtown Dollars, use promo code Dan to get 10% off, and and back to the podcast. So, how have you found starting that online presence with social, like what platforms are you using first of all?
So we're on Instagram and Facebook. I'm only one person, so I just can't keep up with the TikTok. I mean, we have YouTube as well, but as far as like daily posts and daily engagement, it's all Facebook and Instagram.
And then how are you finding that engagement, like in the like exposure on there?
I think it's great. I mean, yeah, it's amazing. Actually, I hear a lot of the comments that we get on social media is, hey, thanks for posting about this small business. I had no idea that they were here. And that's a winner in itself because that's, there's no better thing to hear because then that's a new customer for that small business. And that's amazing. Yeah, lots of people don't know about our mural walk. So posting about that as well. All of our events, when we do Christmas shopping contests in the winter too, posting a lot about that as well. So, I mean, I love connecting with the community every day. It's great. Coming up with the stuff to post sometimes on like a rainy random Tuesday. Ask Teri. I'm like, okay, how are we going to get people in Downtown Langley today? One thing people ask me all the time is, why don't you use, I don't even know the proper term, like an uploader. Put all your information into like a Hootsuite or something, and then, you'll have all this free time. And I'm like, I get that, and I'm, maybe I got to change my ways a little bit. But one thing I love about our social media is it's authentic and it's genuine. And I'm physically in Downtown Langley every day, posting about what's happening in Downtown Langley today, what you'll see, whether it's birds chirping or a film crew in the plaza or whatever it may be. It's all real time. It's all authentic and an actual person filming it to show you because I want to show people what you're going to see when you come to our community, right? Mm-hmm. So I take great pride in that because I know there might be easier ways to go about posting or doing it, but I love what I do and I get to have my feet on the ground and in the community every day and showing people why we're so awesome, and I'm pretty darn lucky that that's my job.
Yeah, no, that's why I like doing it. What I'm doing too is there's a sense of fulfillment for sure because you're doing it maybe because your work and everything, but you're bringing business to people. You're putting food on people's plates.
Totally.
Yeah.
On the grand scheme of things. Where do you find you're getting people from on social media? Are they all from Langley City?
You know what? I've done some polls and stuff. I don't know how accurate those are because really it depends who decides to click and participate in the poll. A lot of them are from Langley. Yeah, a lot of our followers are Langley City. We do have some visitors that have said, hey, I've never been to Langley City. I'm planning a trip for this summer. What are some places I should visit? And those are cool too because then I get to kind of say, okay, make sure you check this out, or hey, you're coming on these dates, we're going to have these events going on. So I would say a majority of our followers and demographic that we're reaching on our platform are definitely Langley or neighboring communities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm curious about the neighboring communities because, like I've said many times on this podcast, I started this because, one day I went out to get pizza and I recorded the experience and I put that on social media, and the exposure that video got for that business, not just in Langley, but Surrey, Abbotsford, maybe Vancouver, but actual people customers who would buy from this business was actually a lot higher than I thought. So he called me one day and said, hey, I've got random people calling me from Abbotsford, Surrey, where
That's
I don't
cool.
deliver, but I'll deliver because, hey, they're calling me and I want them to try it. So,
is this a pizza place from Downtown Langley?
no, it's from it's on the border, I guess. It's,
okay.
It's by the township. It's by the township hall there.
Oh, okay.
Paradiso.
Oh, okay.
Pizza.
Oh, I've never
So it's
had that.
it's a new place. But I mean, you could do it with any business in Langley City as well. I did it with 𝐏𝐡𝐨𝐴. I did that as well.
Oh,
so
yeah,
were
they're
on
very
there.
popular.
I can't remember who else, but I've done a few all over Langley, and every time, at least I get one or two people, not necessarily people I don't know. Sometimes they're people I know, and they say, "Oh, I checked out that place; it was really good."
Yeah, great recommendation, right? Yeah.
So those videos do great, and they bring business. So I want to highlight the fact that hey, everybody should be doing this for their own business.
Yes.
Because first of all, you're gonna have friends who are already going to be customers, but maybe their friends will see it, or maybe somebody not from the area might see it. So that's why I was curious.
No, it's great. I like to touch on both like the user-generated content. So we've worked with influencers, and we continue to, where it's I want to show their experience of Downtown Langley, whether it be visiting a restaurant or specific shop or what have you. And then we also, as you've probably seen, are our business features. So interviewing the small business owner, because that's one of the great things about shopping small business is you get to walk in and you get to know the business owner themselves, right? And you can become friends with them. And, that unique connection, you don't get that when you shop at a big corporation or a big box store, right? So highlighting like the people behind the business, I think for people that are visiting Downtown Langley or haven't visited Downtown Langley before, they feel like, oh, hey, I saw you online. It's so nice to meet you. Your shop is so beautiful. You have that familiarity, right? And that's really cool. So like bridging that gap of that connection between the shopper consumer to the business owner, that's really special too, because small business owners, they're the real deal.
Yeah.
They're the real MVPs, right?
Yeah, I think that's why breweries do so well too.
Yes.
Talking to a few brewery owners,
Yeah.
that's why they do so well, is you get to meet them.
Yes.
Right? You get to meet the family, you get to meet where everything's
It's
made.
so special.
So yeah, there's definitely a connection there.
I was just going to say, just as an aside, Rachelle's being quite humble here. I was just at a conference, just to touch on the social media, and the keynote speaker said she went through every single social media platform with every single BIA in British Columbia, and it was actually Rachelle's platform that she used as the perfect example of
That's really
authenticity
nice.
and joy. And then she also won a provincial award for her social media.
Oh,
So,
cool.
Yeah,
That's
it's really
amazing.
so just fun facts from the humble one here.
Yeah, I mean, you're doing something that's completely different, and it's not easy
Yeah.
because the hardest part is being creative. And you have so many components in here. First of all, you're going to businesses, you're showing the owner, right, who people would have never met otherwise potentially, but now they can connect with them
Yep.
on social media. You're showing them like the influencer side. How have you found working with an influencer? Because that's something that a lot of people still don't even see value in.
You know what? Well, I see value in kind of everything we do, because an influencer, yeah, their title is an influencer, and they bring a lot with that. Their following, right? So if a high follower influencer says visit Downtown Langley, they have an influence on their followers. So of course there's benefit in that. We started working with influencers and people in the community really when COVID hit, because everyone was at home, right? And we wanted to make a sense of community and really hold that. So getting people out on the streets. So we've worked with people with no following or a huge following, and I see benefit in both, because at the end of the day, you're getting community involvement. You're getting people in the streets. Whether they have followers or not, they're still visiting our downtown and they're coming and being a part of the community, and that's really what it is all about. So yeah, influencers are great. Big following, small following. I try not to judge by the numbers, because everyone has something that they can bring to the table and explore Downtown Langley. And that's what it's all about.
Honestly, I find like the big influencers sometimes lose some pull just because it's something that they see every day. Their followers see every single day.
Yeah.
Whereas the smaller influencers, they're more intimate. They're responding to all of their followers. They're also commenting on their followers' posts. So
Yeah.
there's more of a friendship there
Yeah.
than when a big influencer who doesn't necessarily follow everyone back. There's influence there for sure. It's just not as I don't know. I think people aren't.
You know what's more important to me is having people knowing, like, because there's influencers out there that they might think, oh, well, I could never reach out to, Discover Downtown Langley because they'd never work with me because I don't have a high enough following. Absolutely not true. We are inclusive. Everybody is welcome. I would never judge someone based on the amount of followers they have. That's like, I hate that that's kind of the way that the track goes sometimes. We are not like that. It's like, you want to work with us, and I'll give the time to talk on the phone with you, or we can email back and forth. What businesses do you want to visit? Can I come? Can I help? So I'm very, very hands-on with everybody that we work with, and everyone's welcome. That's my messaging. You want to work with us? You want to get involved with the community? Give me a call. Send me a DM.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Well, yeah, maybe someone who watches this will
Yeah,
see
maybe.
that.
That would be nice.
I forgot what I was going to ask you about that. Damn.
Sorry, I did cut you off.
No.
I got so excited about saying everyone's welcome.
Shoot. Oh, okay. So when you're working with business owners,
Yes.
one of the things I like to do is kind of convert them to video to make them realize, hey, you should be doing this. And you're not you can beat someone over the head with, hey, do this, do that. But until you show them,
Yeah.
right, they won't take your advice. So have you had any of those businesses, first of all, reach out to you and say, hey, thanks for that video? People came in and they said they saw me online.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely we do. And those videos that we do are at no charge to the small business owner. We provide that for them as part of our social media services.
We never charge the businesses for any of the
Yep.
social coverage.
And they get a copy of the video. We also take a few professional photos while we're in there. So they get all those tangibles as well to post on their website or their social platforms or anything like that. So, but getting business owners on film sometimes can be tricky. But what's most important is making sure they're comfortable, right? So there's some that are nervous, but giving them the time and making sure they're comfortable. Whether we do 10 takes or 1, it doesn't matter. There's no rush. We're here for you. We're here for your business. What can we do to help you? What do you want to highlight? What do you want to feature? So each time I visit a small business to do these features, they're unique, right? And some are super comfortable on film and some aren't, and just working with their individual needs. That's a whole nother tier. You know, people think my job is just like, oh, you're so lucky you get to post on social media and away you go, but there's so much depth to it.
yeah.
And that's what makes it genuine and authentic and all those things, because no one sees me behind the scenes working with the business owner or the influencer or the this or the that. And that's what I think makes our page, so genuine and authentic, is because all that stuff's going on. I'm not using stock photos or anything like that. No disrespect to anyone who does, because we also have a healthy social media budget, which is important. But
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to personalize your content because otherwise people can sense the stock footage.
Of course.
of course.
It has the highlighted arm with the blurred background.
Yeah,
Um,
it's true.
Before we get into this, one last thing I forgot to ask you, just so we can clip this and give stats as to why people should actually support local businesses, is why should people support local businesses, Langley City in particular?
So what's that stat? What's the number when you spend
For every dollar you spend, 63 cents goes back into your local community.
Yeah.
I mean, I can...
versus a corporation,
Yeah.
like a big box store, which is 13 cents or 14 cents or something like that goes back
I think
in
the
your
reasons for
community?
me why everybody should support small businesses, you get to know the owner operator, customer service second to none, because that's their bread and butter, so they're going to be awesome at it. They're the ones that support Little League and soccer and community raffles and everything. They're the ones that, always step up with their giveaways in whatever capacity they can afford. There's three kinds of shoppers. There's big box, mall, and small. And if you pick small, it's an experience. You're not running in and getting a white shirt and running back out. You're actually exploring. These people, it's their livelihood. They're not working for somebody else. This is their livelihood. So supporting small may sometimes be a little bit more costly because they can't compete with the larger ones. But at the end of the day, it's also unique stuff too. It's not the same of one thing filling up an entire rack. It's a lot of personality, and you just find those treasures. So.
Yeah, it's true.
And same with restaurants. They're all unique and they're all owner operated and they're all delicious because that is their bread and butter. They're not going to churn out, no disrespect to anybody who does, but they're not going to churn out your standard bacon and egg breakfast. They're going to give you something worth walking away and talking about so that you come back. So, I mean, you're good at thinking up stuff all the time on social. Did I miss anything?
What I was going to say was going to be cheeky. You're not helping a millionaire buy, fifth Ferrari. You're helping a small business, a mom and pop shop buy, their son to be on the soccer league this year, right? So really think about intentional spending as a consumer. Where do you want your money to go? Because I know where I want my money to go. It's important to me. And to Teri's point, maybe you spend a bit more money, but you want it to go to a billionaire for a Ferrari or for mom and pa to buy their son a shot on the Little League team, right? That's important.
I feel like a lot of people are starting to understand that
I think so, too.
buying the same generic brands to, the same brands, even though they're high end because they're trying to, show off or flash something, they're starting to realize that, oh, I'm going to spend this much, but that guy's going to have the exact same brand and shirt.
The uniqueness of
so
it, right?
you can't really show off your style. You're just another,
Yep.
you're just a sheep.
Yeah. Well,
People hate that
small
word.
businesses
I know they
rock.
do.
They rock.
Yeah.
They're the hardest working people that I've ever met, and I've met a lot. So
Yeah, totally. Well, okay. Well, that was a great note to end on. I wish we started with
Yeah.
that earlier. But let's get into this. So what have you brought today?
Well, we went to the last rep and we got you a berry explosion smoothie. And I didn't memorize the menu, but I know it's got like yogurt and
What was it? Almond milk?
strawberries
And
and
blueberries.
blueberries. Yeah. So I steered away from the bananas because not everybody's a banana fan, and I, hadn't met you until now. And then I got you a, Shell got the bowl because she always likes to be a little different. But then we also brought 2 wraps, and they are the chicken Caesar wraps. So, and I didn't know if you were like a spicy guy,
Okay,
so
we
I
cool to try this out?
Yeah.
didn't
go
want to
ahead.
veer
good.
too hard from the.
I'm starving.
For you?
Yeah, no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You not open this thing.
I hate how we always leave this till the end because, sometimes the food doesn't end up the same.
Well, no, but it makes sense because you don't want to be talking and like shoving your face with food
No, I
during the
would've.
podcast.
Originally, that was the goal, was to
I like it.
have an ASMR,
Talking. Oh, cool.
like chew into the mic. But it's funny, recently a bunch of people have commented about, hey, I can hear that guy's chewing while the other guy's talking. So, I don't know.
Had to pivot the business plan slightly.
Yeah, it made sense.
No, it is delicious.
So yeah, no, this is good. This is a blueberry smoothie.
It's called a berry explosion. So it's blueberry, strawberry, almond milk, and yogurt, I think. So
Yeah,
pretty
it's really
straightforward.
good. Yeah, nice and light. You can taste all the berries in there. You just have that texture. That's yours. Where's this one?
These are both the same.
Okay.
Yep.
So something I've been to Last Rep. So this is the Last Rep. They have meal prep there.
Yes.
Which is what you got. You got the meal prep, or is
Looking
that a
into
bowl? That
I think this is like part of the menu, but I do think that all of these items are part of their meal prep plan that you can pre-order and pick up to have.
yeah. So meal. Last Rep, I've been there a few times. You guys can go ahead. I'm just going to talk.
Okay.
But Last Rep is great because they have two options. They're across the street from the gym, so you can get a post-workout meal there. Also, they have healthy but really good food, and you can get meal prep. So meal prep,
yeah.
as we know, is sometimes a little bit difficult to order, also pricey. Well, Last Rep, I think, because they've mixed the two components, they're not too dependent on the fact that they have to make a ton of money with the meal prep, so that's why they can give a way better price. And they have breakfast, lunch, and dinner options.
Yep.
They have vegetarian options, and different styles of chickens in there. So
This thing is huge.
let's get into this one.
Oh my gosh, it is.
I'd say this is average.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You're small eater.
Yeah, I'm a small eater. I do.
Yeah, no,
That
I
was
mean,
like
this
3 meals for me, so.
this will definitely put you to sleep. It'll put me to sleep, but it's like,
Food comas
I'm okay with that.
No, this is really good smoothie, too.
There's like a Caesar wrap.
Yeah. What do they call it? King Caesar?
Yeah. And they're really new, like relatively new. I think they've been there, 6 months, 7 months? Yeah, and I really like their business plan. Like you say, they've got the options for takeout. They've got the 3 meals at like 3 different times a day that they offer. I love their hours. Their hours are awesome. Like they're always open. So, yeah.
I'm going to try their meal prep. Because with the summer and I have 2 young kids, like I don't want to go home and make dinner after working all day. Like it'd be nice to just have something on the fly and run to the park and away you go.
That's healthy.
Yeah, right? Yeah,
healthy,
we're
yeah.
not stopping at a fast
That's
food place.
I mean, the healthy side is, I feel like everybody's got that nailed down. Now it's about making it good.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the time with meal prep is you'll get a healthy chicken and rice, but when you eat it 2 days after you
Yeah.
got it, that's a
Yeah.
dry chicken.
yeah.
So, and there's no sauce, and so like finding that fine line between the two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of businesses are starting to figure out. And meal prep or Last Rep is definitely one of them.
Yeah.
Also, if you are a sports team or an athlete or represent an organization, reach out to, and from Langley, reach out to Last Rep. They have a program where they're looking to sponsor athletes and stuff like
Yep.
that, especially if you're
Yep.
in the fitness space. I have a soccer team that I play with and also sponsor, and they are also sponsored by Last Rep. So
Nice.
we get a small discount every time we go there, and they're great, and they bring some drinks sometimes for us when we're playing. So, yeah, if you're watching this, hit them up. So where can people find you?
Right in the middle of downtown Langley, across, well, for anybody that's familiar with downtown Langley, Viva Mexico, we are the office located right above there, straight across from the plaza, bird's eye view of all the action and activity that goes on down there. And yeah, so 20559 Fraser Highway, literally right in the center of everything. So,
Awesome.
and our doors are always open. Our business hours are 9 to 4. Part of our jobs are outside of the office, so if it's something urgent or even make an appointment might be better, just call first, because we hate disappointed people when they say, you guys are never there, and we're like, that's because we're here, right? So, yeah,
And then online website.
downtownlangley.com, info@downtownlangley.com for any emails anybody wants to send with any questions. Discover Downtown Langley for social channels.
Social anytime. I'm 24/7. I got to get better at that. It'd be like 11 p.m. and I'm checking DMs and replying to people. There's no off switch.
It's what it
right?
is.
And I'm like, hey.
Social never sleeps.
Thanks so much for watching today. If you have any questions that you think I missed, comment down below or reach out to Discover Langley at Discover Downtown Langley on social media or go on their website. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you click here. We have more videos like this every single week. And again, follow me, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
Great.
Boom, done.
Boom. Nailed it. That was
I
fun.
gotta cut that.